You know, it's funny because throughout my career, I was told as I was being introduced to management that I was too serious. I didn't know how to break the ice in any presentation. And so I thought, okay, I have to start working on that. But I didn't think I had just made it. Excuse me. You know, it's an amazing opportunity to have been actually hired here at JFK, and there's a whole story behind that. But to be given an opportunity to really define the university by working with an amazing staff to really understand what it was that we wanted to do with the Hispanic Serving Institution Grant. How are we going to put that program together? What were the services that we were going to provide? And so it was that beginning that we started to really take into account how are we were going to set ourselves apart. And to the point that, yes, we did receive $2.6 million from the Department of Education, the Hispanics Institution Grant. And, you know, and when I ask, and I can ask you all, how many of you are familiar with the HSI term? How many of you know what it means? Okay. So thank you for those of you who did raise your hands. It is an issue, I think, that we need to address. Our communities do not even know what an HSI is. Our students don't even know. And I think that that is the commitment that we have here at JFK to make sure that they do understand. And so when I have an opportunity to meet with parents or a community or even with students, I ask them, do you know what it is? Are you familiar with the support that you are to get with an institution that has actually committed? So one of the things there in itself tells me that we do need to inform our students so that when they start to prepare to get into that educational journey, that they do know who is an HSI, what colleges, what universities, because there is a commitment from these institutions to support the student. Okay. And it's not just to support them and to provide programs, but it's truly to get them a sense of belonging, which is what we've done here at JFK. It is to make them feel that they are part of the fabric. One of the things that we did do at the beginning with JFK when we were trying to find out what programs we could offer, we brought in a focus group of Latino students, and they said to us, gee, I haven't seen that many of us in one room. And I thought, whoa, okay, we have a problem here. And so it is about really looking at opportunities that can serve the Latino student. And also the commitment, but also to remove stereotypes. All of that process works with them, that we need to ensure that we provide those opportunities for them. We had an opportunity back in June of 2016 where JFK hosted what we call the 2017 Hispanic Serving Institution Symposium. We brought presidents, vice presidents, AVPs, administrators to come and to try to understand what it was for us to be an HSI, what it actually meant for us to serve the students. I don't know if you're familiar with, but Sarita Brown, president of the Excelencia in Education, she hosted the program with us, where she actually took us through a dialogue of understanding who are we? What is it that we need to do as institutions when we make that commitment? And what it is that we need to do in order to understand what it is to serve these students. We all agreed that we shared a common goal, a commitment to support our students to get their degrees and to become contributing members of society, right, to give back. We also agreed that we needed to collaborate and to develop pathways. This is the collaboration that I think is truly needed among all of us to continue this work to create an awareness of what an HSI is. If we do not know, our community doesn't know that there's something there for them. So it is about that continuing education of not only our community, our parents, but also our students. We also agreed that we needed to share information on retention and graduation data as a means to look at the gaps and move towards closing those gaps. What is it that makes one of us more successful than the other? What is it that we can share? And you know, it's not about these 6 institutions that came together and had that dialogue and even signed a commitment that you'll be able to see at our table back there, a commitment of understanding. But I think it is a commitment about community change, change in programs, policies, and practices. And that is why I believe we're all here today, is to truly have a sense of direction, to take this roadmap to our community leaders, for them to actually create that change. It's a movement, I think, that we have started once before, but it's a movement that has not lost its momentum. And that's what I think that we need to do here as leaders, is to move that forward. Here at JFK, we do provide that sense of inclusion of our students. We celebrate their successes. And we also give them that space that they can call their own. Some of you last time in April had an opportunity to visit the Undergraduate Success Center. That is their center. It is for them to come in and hang out if they so wish, to use the computers. Well, we also offer our students, beyond that communication or that listening, is also tangible things like a lending library, where they have the books that they can use for the entire quarter, laptops, tablets, computers, for them to keep that momentum so they don't get behind in their schoolwork, right? But it's also about listening. What is it that they need? What's going on? What's the problem? Do we have an issue with the language? We also provide them with tutors and mentors, bilingual tutors and mentors, if they need that resource. And maybe they don't take advantage of it, but knowing that it's there is comforting. They know that they can get that support. We also celebrate Hispanic Heritage Month, the Cinco de Mayo. As a matter of fact, we actually asked our students to give us a sense of, do they know why we celebrate Cinco de Mayo? It's beyond the margaritas and the salsa and chips. What is it? And we actually had, and Marcy can attest, the activity director in our group, that about 37% were correct as to why we were celebrating Cinco de Mayo. An educational opportunity. We also celebrate Las Posadas. We explain why is it important to us, how we celebrate it. Con chocolate caliente y pan dulce, right? We also acknowledge all ethnic celebrations because it is all about inclusion. We sponsor 16 conferences for our faculty to expand on the cutting edge of diversity practices. We also sponsor mini grants for faculty to engage or enhance in instructional curriculum design. We are also very proud of our Latino speaker series. And I think at this point, I'm supposed to be pushing the button. Liliana, ¿cuál? ¿Para qué lado? Liliana me va a ayudar. ¿No le digo, pues? Okay. Our speaker series. We actually take a lot of pride in everything that we've done by bringing in guest speakers who will talk to us about social issues, equity, and diversity. I don't know if you know about him, but he's an amazing man. Born in Mexico, came up to East LA, from East LA to the North Bay, to the halls of Harbor. We should be able to continue to support and actually encourage others that are in that same situation. We can do it. Sarai, a DACA student. I was just at the Hispanic convention. I need to cut this short. I didn't think I was talking that. Very quickly. The story continues on with DACA. We cannot not have that conversation. So please support our DACA students. We had our own Mara who came. Latinos are the solution, not the problem. Speakers. Tu futuro está en tus manos. Absolutely. We just held this event a couple weeks ago. And it is true. The future is in our hands. And so again, I call out to all of you to support Latinos, students, HSIs, to inform the community that sí se puede, pero con ganas. It's not just about sitting here and saying, this has been a great presentation, but it's about the commitment that we all need to make to further the education of our Latino students. We can do it. So thank you very much. Oh.